Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by leaving 2 comments or as many comments as you so feel. Thank you to all the people who've been leaving an extraordinary amount of comments, as well as the people who have subscribed, as it does indeed help with the algorithm. And without further ado, also watch out for the people pretending to be me in the comment section. I'm pretty sure you've seen them. Have at it. If you have something, if you've had a bad day and you got to get something off your chest, say it to them. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. A lot of the price news surrounding Bitcoin at the moment is relatively the same, and I'll show you the before and then I'll show you the after. So the before from a couple of hours ago, at least at the time of me making this video, was that Bitcoin is preparing to move up. It says Bitcoin holding at key technical pattern, poised for a significant breakout above $60,000. We have seen this news about the last 3 days or so, talking about that Bitcoin is going to be moving up in price. No real variation there. Segueing from that into the actual next thing, I can't even show you the whole thing. Thanks a lot, New York Times. The mega news, bam, 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 mega news right now is that allegedly, apparently, so saith New York Times and like 38 other places, apparently America is getting ready to create another stimulus payment money thing, and it's going to be $3 trillion. This time. Quite a big news, as one might have imagined. Bitcoin price eyes more explosions as Biden considers new $3 trillion package. You know, the really weird part is that this did nothing to Bitcoin's price. And I mean nothing. Like actually, like imagine something, now go backwards and that becomes nothing. Nothing to the actual price. So I think that we are witnessing a lot of maybe just don't know what's going on isms. That doesn't make any sense. I feel like the news that should be impacting Bitcoin's price is not impacting Bitcoin's price. I don't know if we've simply slid into 2019 where I had the most annoyances in my life, because every single day, even in 2019, we were getting amazing news about Bitcoin and where Bitcoin was going to go and how high Bitcoin was going to be, all those things. And Bitcoin's price kept on falling. And I don't think I want to understand exactly what was taking place. So the news is, before we get to the news, is that Bitcoin is apparently poised on its heels, getting ready to jump higher. According to every single website, they are now preparing a $3 trillion stimulus package. It's supposed to go to infrastructure, schools, families, what have you. Absolutely wonderful. I think it's great. However, I think that people keep forgetting that the printing it's a vicious circle. And I've been chatting with my friend in Florida. Hello, friend in Florida. You know who you are. About like the repercussions of doing this, because we've come so far that we've gone too far. If that makes any sense, it's going to in a couple of seconds. The idea is that the economy's faltered, falling apart, blah, 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 whatever word you want to use for it. And people need money. The issue is you have to print that money to be able to give it to these people. But when you print more money, it devalues the other money that you printed before, and therefore you then have to print more money to give more money to the other people who gave the money to the first time. That's also devalued. So it's kind of this, you know, you cannot print this much money without there being some type of an issue. And I was also informed by a Florida friend who is quite intelligent, just throwing that out there, sir, that they actually, the Fed has actually discontinued the posting of the numbers for the M1 US dollar money supply. For those of you who were not here in the before time, in the long ago, like a week and a half, we went over this chart. It's the amount of US dollars in circulation. It's called the M1 money supply, M1 money stock. I mean, also the M2 as well. You can also look at that chart. And then at a certain point, you see it starts rising a lot. And then right here, bam, 2020. We all know what took place, and it kind of shoots up. The really interesting part is that it ends around February, because they're not posting the actual numbers anymore. Like, you can look it up. If you have a phone, if you have a tablet, if you have another tab, type in M1 money supply discontinued. They're not posting the numbers anymore, which means that this is far higher. This was January and February, the beginning of February. Far higher than we are seeing right now, especially as this is basically going to be a straight shot up. So I assume by the end of this year, we're going to be somewhere around here. Anyway, so it wasn't the news that the not just the US, that other world's economies are actually falling apart. People have been doing bank runs. People have been trying to buy as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. Not that Bitcoin went up to $100,000 in Turkey. Not that they just printed 1.9 trillion and are going to be printing another $3 trillion. That did nothing to Bitcoin's price. Not even the news that we know for a fact that 3 companies at least are buying up 3 times the amount of Bitcoin that's printed, created, minted every single day. None of that has done anything to Bitcoin's price. However, this one did. It says Bitcoin postpones bearish correction as Tesla adds Bitcoin payment option. That's why I said I feel like we're in a... I don't think people are really paying attention to what's happening in the world kind of news. It's not the real news that does it, but it's Elon Musk writing a tweet saying that they're accepting Tesla for a car. That drove up Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin's currently at, was it 3-4%? See what I mean? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know why I did that. Like the what's the like 1940s cartoons and the guy's like, "Hey, sweetheart." Anyway, anyway, it went through my head. So the point is, this is the most popular news of the day. Bitcoin shoots up by 4.5% as Tesla starts accepting Bitcoin, won't convert to cash. Tesla starts accepting Bitcoin payments. Bitcoin price spikes $1,000 immediately. Elon Musk, you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. Just in, Tesla now accepts Bitcoin payment. Elon Musk, you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. Not done. Tesla launches much awaited Bitcoin payment option. Tesla starts accepting Bitcoin payments and will not convert to cash. Is this also it? Yup. Bitcoin paid to Tesla for vehicles will be retained as Bitcoin. So none of the other stuff that indicates that the world is actually crumbling around us and that people are looking for an actual hedge. The news that Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was like 40,000, was like 68,000 in certain parts of Africa, I was like, well, here we go. You know, this is a big indicator. When we got news that it was over $100,000 in Turkey because their economy was falling apart, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Logic is going to hit a lot of people. The news that we had, was it last year? Was it last year? Doesn't matter. It was no more than like 12 weeks ago, give or take a couple of, weeks, that there were countries who were mining Bitcoin. When Venezuela mandated that their army has to start mining Bitcoin, yes, this is also a thing. There are at least 7 countries that we know of who are actively mining Bitcoin. It's not through like small little special operations. It's the actual government who's mining the Bitcoin. I was like, well, that solidifies it. Here we go. Everyone is going to, logic, brain, time, space, and they're all going to get it. Nope. It's Tesla. Tesla moves the market the same exact way. We had news for 4 weeks. This was, of course, in the, the while ago. None of it was affecting Bitcoin's price. Elon Musk says that Tesla has $1.5 billion in Bitcoin and the price shoots up. So it's not that I'm mad at Tesla. It's more of a like, can Bitcoin move for actual real news, or is that just not a thing anymore? Is it, do we constantly have to have Elon Musk come to our rescue to say, hey, Bitcoin? Remember when Elon Musk put the word Bitcoin in his Twitter bio, and I think we went up by 6% that day. It's not the $3 trillion. No. It's not that other governments are actually accepting Bitcoin. We had news also as well that, what was it? There were 3 countries apparently who were swapping Bitcoin between themselves to actually do trade. Remember that news? Remember the fact that Bitcoin's actually being adopted by the entire world, not that you can buy a car with Bitcoin? That Bitcoin, okay. Anyway, yeah, Tesla, go for it. I guess the other big news is that they're not going to be swapping their Bitcoin into cash because They're trying to get more Bitcoin for themselves. And so many people are going to be buying Teslas with Bitcoin. Absolutely fantastic. Please go for it. Just understand that in the future, you're probably going to be a smidge upset when you realize that you could have had more Bitcoin, or that your Bitcoin was going to be worth more, but you bought a car. Fantastic. Anyway, that's the most popular news story that we've gotten in a very long time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tabs for that. There were at least 25 more. Not an over-exaggeration. It was the most... Even the $3 trillion thing barely made headlines. Barely. Can you imagine the U.S. inflation rate normally being around 1 to 2%, and we have indications that this took place last year, and that is going to continue taking place, and people go, meh, I'm going to wait for Muskie to say something. That's all the this market's insane news. And let's move on. Next up, the UK's financial regulator warned on Tuesday that thrill-seeking young investors are taking on large financial risks by investing in asset classes like crypto. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. According to the CNBC report, the UK's financial regulator, the Financial Conduct Authority, warned on Tuesday that thrill-seeking young investors are taking on large financial risks. I'll get to that in 1 second. Despite most admitting that significant losses could fundamentally impact their lives. According to the FCA, new, younger, more diverse group of customers or consumers, same exact thing, getting involved in higher risk investments, potentially prompted in part by the accessibility offered by new investment apps. I think old people are crazy, and I'm terrified of getting to that age where I'm like, oh, those young people talking to those robots. It's about financial inclusion. People want to be part of something. You know how tired people are of watching documentaries and seeing TV shows of these people being wealthy and being rich and having no access to any of that. So the idea that they could enter a space, the cryptocurrency space, and be able to buy and sell things at will 24 hours a day, whenever they want, that makes them money, more money than they would have been making right now, especially when they don't have jobs. How dare young people do that? Or the idea that young people would be downloading apps to invest as well. And that's what the apps are for. It's the same exact thing that we had with the whole GameStop thing. Why were all the higher ups and the richest people in the world angry at you for trying to make money? It's because they want you to remain poor. The other part of it being, I find it, myself, and I, quite interesting, the entire idea of they're taking on large financial risks by investing in the cryptocurrency space. First of all, let's back it up a little bit. How many of you right here grew up in or lived in a country where you were told, go to school until you're 18, go to university, and immediately after, buy a house, buy a big house. It can't be a small house because people will laugh at you for that. It has to be a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom with a backyard. You have to have, by the time you're 21, saved up in some magical world, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 to put down as a down payment on this home that you're supposed to then have not paid off until you are 65 years old. Anybody remember that? Anybody? I remember, because that's all I was told my entire life. Get yourself in debt. You have to be in debt. The only way to be happy is to be in debt. You have to get married. You got to be in debt. You got to have a big house. You got to have multiple kids that you cannot pay for. Cannot pay for them. Same exact time, buy a new car every single year. Why do you think there's so many car commercials talking about you want to lease a new car? Look at this one with a sexy woman being like, hey, I would like you if you were in this every single year. Don't you think it's kind of weird? Because that's the actual system that we live in. So there's a huge difference. I'm not saying that people should. This is not me saying that people should be throwing all their money into the cryptocurrency space. But there's a really huge difference between a young person or a thrill-seeking individual putting $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 into a market that might go to zero. That's terrible. Might go to zero. No one knows. As opposed to getting yourself into debt for the next 30 to 35 years. When you don't even know about finance. That one seems a little bit more. I would have respected the entirety of all of this a lot more if somewhere in there they made sure to also say, well, young people also should be waiting until they actually have enough money to be able to buy a house completely. Oh, wait, you can't do that because houses are too expensive. You want to know why? Because multiple companies have been buying up all these homes in multiple cities because there's nothing to stop them from doing it. And they own all the real estate. They cause real estate prices to rise. I'm pretty sure you've seen, if you live in a major city, if you live in New York, Miami, Dubai, Paris, London, it could be any major city on this planet. It also happens in LA, Vancouver, all over the place. These people buy up these homes. They buy up entire blocks. Have you ever looked at, here we go. Have you ever looked at how much particular families, the richest families on the planet, how much real estate that they own and how much of certain countries that they actually own and how much of certain cities that they own? There's one family, won't say who they are. You can definitely find it. They own, I think, 10 to 15% of all the real estate within London. One would assume if you own that much real estate, other prices were also going to rise as well. So the point is, very popular news. Here's the actual, where's the mouse? There we go. Here's the actual CNBC article. Young investors are taking on large financial risks. UK watchdog warns. Oh my, what's English? Warns. Sure. Yeah, sure. I know people who've put in $1,500 into stocks in the last year, looking for someplace to put their money, maybe $5,000 into crypto, sprinkled across certain coins. And I tell them always, you need to know this as well. There's a gigantic pie in the sky that doesn't make any sense. There's definitely a chance that the cryptocurrency market could go to zero. Understand that. It is a risk, the same as every other risk. There's a risk in buying gold, silver, real estate, land, digital land, anything you want to put out there, there's a risk in all of it. However, once again, I'm going to say, big difference. If you've saved up $1,500 to put into a market, as opposed to buying, even more so, the idea of buying a house for $300,000 is also completely unrealistic. Of buying a 1-bedroom flat for you and your partner with a balcony for $300,000, that seems a bit more realistic. It doesn't. I'm tired of hearing people who control the system say that things need to be a certain way and that you need to get out of financial markets, because the worst part is going to be, and I mentioned this before, any of those countries who have already banned or are planning on banning cryptocurrencies, their citizens are going to be a smidge, low smidge angry. If Bitcoin ever goes to $250,000 and they were just not able to enter the market especially when they got banned when Bitcoin was $2,000, do you think they'll be happy that they own no Bitcoin, or do you think they might be a little tad upset? It's so crazy that we live in a world where you're told to get into, especially for school. For those of you who don't know, school also costs money in the UK as well. University is not free there, especially if you are not from the UK. I think it's £25,000 a year. So it's okay for young people to get into debt, to go to schools, to get a degree that they probably will never use in their entire life, and then to buy a house or a flat that's going to cost them tons of money. But putting a couple thousand into the stock market or investing on Robinhood or investing in crypto, that's the bad part. And without further ado, how dare you? Like, these people are insane. These people are nuts. They're so desperate to make sure that they hold on to all the wealth. I know it drives them insane. I know it has to be driving them completely insane. Remember before when the entire GameStop thing happened? And I remember reading on almost said Reddit and Twitter. I remember reading on there were so many people who were like, dude, I made $5,000. I can't believe it. There were other people who were like, I made enough money to give my dog the operation that he needed. And I sat there like, that's incredible. I'm so happy to hear that. And the next day, these people were like, these people are liars. They're manipulating the market. And I'm like, but you manipulate the market. Why won't you let people have normal, like just money? Why is it so bad for everyday people to have money? It drives me crazy. It drives me absolutely up the wall. I was watching something yesterday. Fine, we're all here. I'll tell you. I was watching something yesterday. It popped up randomly on my suggested YouTube thing because everything is basically about finance or video games. Where they were saying, now listen, it is what it is. It depends on how you feel about this entire thing. They were talking about how the wealthiest people on the planet, how they made trillions, not billions, not hundreds of billions, but trillions of dollars. The richest, like the 100 richest people, and even more so, like it was focusing on, I think, the top 15. They had made trillions of dollars during everything that's taken place last year. While everyone has been home, people had no money, so and so and so. And it was, this particular one was about Amazon workers, and they were talking about, they don't really have a really good time because they're expected to work like robots. The amount of money, once again, this depends on how you feel about the situation. I don't care if you think it's redistribution of wealth. Like, we get to the point where I'm pretty sure, this is just me, you've worked a job before. You know what it's like to stand on your feet, to struggle, to hustle, to not have the amount of money, to not be able to pay your rent. Here we go. The amount of money that that Bezos made over the course of 9 months would have been enough for him to give every employee, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, all of his employees, a check for $100,000 and still be richer than he was before everything took place. He would still have been richer. And it's not even me saying that he should be like, oh, I'm richer, let's write a check. But at some point, you got to understand that people need money. People, okay. So the point is, young people are taking on huge amounts of risks. So saith the UK watchdog. I hope that they put out an article right after this, talking about the risks of buying property and freeholds and leaseholds and what it means, and how if you have a leasehold on property in the UK, that once it gets down to 10 years, unless you have about £1 million, you can't really pay it back. I want an article for that as well. I want them to tell people exactly all the risks of finance in their country so that they can make a decision for themselves as to the least risky to the riskiest, especially the idea that trillions of dollars have been pumped into stocks to make them rise over the course of the last year. I want an article about that as well. I really want one. Desperately. I would love that. Let's move on. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Bitcoin whales are multiplying on a daily basis, which means wallet addresses holding a larger sum of Bitcoin are also increasing, as Glassnode has recorded in its weekly on-chain report that over half of the market is now holding at least, geez Louise, is holding at least 100 Bitcoin, $5.4 million. Not only will the number surge past this at a later time, the whales seem to be effectively pay no mind or attention to the open-ended bear market that traders have been undergoing. We're not in a bear anything. What's wrong with people? The Bitcoin's price was $3,000 last year. It went up to 62,000 US dollars, and we were down at 55,000. That's not a bear market. There are no bearish conditions. We know that bearish means that everything is like, no one's buying, no one's accumulating. How many days in a row have we had news that all these rich people are still buying every single day? How many times? All the time. How many times have we had news? I'm screaming. Have we had news? I was actually screaming. Sorry. Over the last week and a half, that as prices were dipping, whales were accumulating. It was every single day. It's not slowing down. It's not going to stop. Do you assume that Tesla has stopped buying Bitcoin? Do you think that Scaramucci has stopped buying Bitcoin? Do you think that the Winklevoss twins are content with the amount of Bitcoin that they have and go, no, we doth not need any more, brother? I'm just assuming. What's the other guy? Wolf of Wall Street guy. You think he put out the news yesterday that he thinks that Bitcoin is going to $100,000 soon and he just stopped buying? No, I'm fine being as rich as I am. Of course, whales are buying. They're going to continue buying. I really have no much more to say about this except for here's the actual information right here from them. Apologies. It says Bitcoin becomes harder to ignore at an increasing rate. Of course. Of course. Of course. Sure. Why not? Sure. Let's move on. For some reason, this was news, and I'm not really sure why it's news, because it shouldn't be news, and I'll tell you why it shouldn't be news. Privacy has been a discussion that has not gone unnoticed when it comes to the forthcoming launch of the digital Yuan. The head of the People's Bank of China-run Digital Currency Research Institute had firmly pointed out that anonymity cannot be guaranteed at all. Shocker. Oh, snaps. During an interview with the Securities Times, Ma Changchun told the 2021 China Development Forum that a fully anonymous central bank digital currency is impossible. What? That's crazy, man. I didn't see that coming at all. The reason, said the official, is that the government needs to make it compliant with AML, KYC, and CFT or CTF measures. Per the official, such transactions should also be scrutinized to avoid tax evasion schemes through the upcoming Chinese central bank digital currency developed by the People's Bank of China. Why this was news? I'm not really sure. People are shocked that they're not going to have an anonymous state-run digital currency. I remember news before, people being like, these things aren't going to be decentralized. And it's like, do you know how money works? Do you know how governments don't like Bitcoin because it is decentralized? Because they're used to having the power. When you print the money, you have the power. What happens when the citizens have the money? They have the right. Exactly. So here's the actual article discussing it. Once again, not really sure how this was news. I'm going to show you something. And I implore you, as always, this is not a tinfoil hat thing. This is not a whatever. Please always look up things yourself. If you hear me say something in a video that sounds completely left field or right field, whatever field you feel like running onto, look it up yourself for about a good 10 minutes just to verify that what I'm saying is actually true. I've mentioned this many other times before. Not sure if you knew, but you're about to know about it right now. China has something called a social credit system. It's very well known, but a lot of people still don't know about it. It's basically, it's kind of it would be the equivalent to like a credit score in the States, if you will. You know, your credit is based on everything, but this one goes a step further. There's like a little, you can't see the AI in the corner, but it's like trying to talk to me, and it's like actually kind of annoying. Where's the actual part over here? So the social credit score, also known as the ranking system, uses so-called big data to monitor and assess trustworthiness. And this goes into the actual idea of course, there will not be private transactions. Did you think? There is not going to be a country on this planet who makes a central bank digital currency that is going to be private. Sorry for ruining your day. Not sure. Trustworthiness. The goal is to construct a high trust society which rewards individuals and companies for following the law. Yeah, a lot of you have seen Black Mirror. I know you know exactly where this is going. As well as regional variations, there are distinct social credit systems for citizens, businesses, and government officials. They are also voluntary trial versions being run. They're not voluntary. Stop it. So for those of you who don't know and just found out, they have a system there where everyone is ranked. Everyone gets a number. Once again, same exact thing like a credit score. But whereas as a credit score, you know, you can't buy that house or you can't get that car. I don't know what the credit system is for. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This one goes a few steps further. As the credit system is yet to be fully implemented because it's so wide, there's still it's like testing implemented. It's in a lot of places, but they also have over 1 billion people, so they're trying to figure out how to roll it out. It is impossible to say at this stage what exactly the negative consequences might be. Wrong. That said, based on pilots of the credit system and existing regional versions, potential negative effects of a bad credit score are travel bans. That's right. You can find documentaries on this. There are, I think, wait. There we go. I found it. Reported in 2019, 23 million people have been blacklisted from traveling by plane or train due to having low credit scores. Imagine that being in your country. Imagine your credit score being so low that not only can you not buy a house, but you can't take a train. You can't take a plane. Yeah. Also, if it gets too low, if your number gets too low, you can't leave the country. Did you think they were going to have a private currency that you could use on your own? I don't even think it has it on here. Oh, yeah, a lot of it. Another thing that they have is, once again, find documentaries on these things. These are real. They're not tinfoil hat. This is actually taking place right now. Another thing is your score goes lower if you are, oh gosh, there's a lot of things. Your score goes lower if you happen to purchase something, because everything is followed. All the current currency that they have right now, everything that they have right now in China usually flows through a couple of apps. It's Alibaba, it's WeChat, and there's another one. I can't remember, Kakao, I think it is. But you can do everything through there. You can book doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, go to the roller rink. I'm not joking. Like, you can do everything through there, but your money also flows through there as like a counterparty or like a third party, so that the government can see that you actually were sending that money back and forth. So when you purchase things, when you purchase shoes, when you purchase clothing, when you purchase hats, when you purchase a new coat, it all goes through there. Even if you're not online shopping, if you go into a store, you scan your phone and they know where you were at one time and what purchase you made. If you happen to purchase something that is for, let's say, adults, for personal use, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Give me a wide range of things, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. That actually lowers your score. Crazy, right? You know what also lowers your score? If something happens on social media, and let's say your friend is having a bad day and they're like, I don't like that, but it happens to be something that was put out by the state, their score goes down because everything is tracked on the computers. You know, the other really crazy part is if you're their friend, you're also linked by social scores as well. So your score goes down. So you are incentivized to only have friends who have high scores. If you haven't seen that episode of Black Mirror, what do you think it was based on? School bans, reduced employment prospects, increased scrutiny, public shaming. All these things are happening right now. So this is why when I saw the news of, that their currency won't be private, I was like, did people think with all the other dystopian stuff that they'd be like, no, it's fine. Let them do with their money as they will. Watch a documentary on it. It'll shock you and terrify you, because I'm assuming a couple of other countries are probably going to think about testing this out as well. Yeah. You also can't eat in certain restaurants. You can't go to movie theaters. Like, there's so many things if you have a low score. So it shuts you out of society forever. Forever. There's no like resetting your number. There was a guy, I saw a story on him. I think he and his wife had a business. The business fell through. She left him. And as he was unable to pay back his debts, his score kept on going lower and lower. And he said on social media, eventually he had no friends. Like, everyone saw that their score was also going lower, so they delisted him as a friend. And he only hung out with other people who also had very low scores. So anyway, the point is, yeah, of course not. There was a lot of news like about a week and a half ago that I think this is on its way to being finished, published. It's going to be out there, and people are going to be able to use it relatively soon. I think they're already having like test pilots and pilot tests or whatever in the country. What? Like, Same with Facebook's coin. I also do not expect that to be a decentralized worldwide usage thing. It's going to be running through their servers. Not sure what's going on with people. I think we need a logic test going on. Anyway, that's the of course not news. This was also quite popular. I only have one tab open, but this was very popular. What? Let's move on. And to finish things off, this news is going to make you so happy, especially if you love crappy coins. It's going to just completely make your day. The Winklevis are adding 7 new coins to their platform. They're adding Inch, Bancor, Scale, The Graph, Loopring, Engine Coin, and Sand. Yeah, if you like coins that sound like that no one's really using, boy howdy, I'm sure you're excited right now. At the same exact time, Coinbase has also announced that they're also going to be adding 3 coins, and their Anchor, Curve DAO token, and Storage with a J on their platform on the 25th. Can't wait. That's going to be super fun. Yeah. So we're back to them adding terrible coins. It is what it is. I always get one person in the comment section who's like, you don't know what that coin is? It's for the interoperability of the other accessibility of the other ports. And I'm like, yeah, but no one's using it except for like maybe 380 people on the planet. So that's the coin adding news. Also, these were kind of slightly popular. I guess is every time that the Geminis and the Coinbases add new coins to their platform, that everyone's like, yeah, my crappy coin got added to their platform. Hope the price pumps. That's the 10 new coins being added to 2 different platforms that no one probably cares about news. I know there's someone out there who's holding Storage, or who has Curve, or Anchor. I got it. I know. There's always one. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Captain Something, and the Z-Waylay. What is Z-Waylay? Z-Waylay. It sounds like something. Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655. Is that because you went that speed? Cars can't drive that fast. What am I talking about? Did you dream you went that fast? Speedy 655. And Carlos was like, Mo Barazzi, The JoJo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle. Yeah, I need a miracle for these prices. Crypto Stahl, Paternoster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Steuer, Romo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Moroni. I got it wrong the first 80 times I said it, but I got it right now. Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the world, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy, 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich 3, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Chest every day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness Monk's Corner Staff, Arf Medic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, 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 very much for your support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. I do see you every single day. Hello. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I do also see you every single day. Hello. Thank you to everyone who left a thumbs up, who left a comment or comments. Everyone who is part of the Al Gore Rhythm gang. Because apparently Al Gore does have rhythm. Yeah. At the momento, Bitcoin is currently at 56,476 US dollars. It is up by 4%. Fancy. Once again, not the $3 trillion, but Elon Musk. I want to understand so bad. I want to understand. Ethereum is up to 1716. ADA is up by 2%. XRP is down by 4%. Litecoin's up by 5%. Theta token is now the number 9 token. It is up by 22%. Chain token is up by 15%. Filecoin is up by 13%. VeChain Thor is up by 2%. Aave is up by 2.8%. Tron is up by 2%. EOS is up by 1%. Kusama is up by 3%. FTX token is up by 5.9%. Tezos is up by 7%. Neo is up by 3%. Algorand is up by 4%. Chiliz has finally fallen in the rankings because what the funk and waggles was going on there. T-Fuel is up by 8%. I don't even feel like reading these cars' names. Engine Coin is up by, sure, why not? Live your best life. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Another really weird news day, but I mean, has there been any normal news days, especially with me? Like, when was the last time we had anything normal here? So I assume as the rest of the world ends up waking up, we might probably see another push up in Bitcoin's price. Simply because of the Musk news. You know, that's what we've been waiting for. Not the collapse of, finance, but it's Elon Musk and being able to buy a car with Bitcoin. I do hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See